in these problems, we are given a few properties, and we're going to try to actually derive the standard equations. So these are the standard equations here. We're going to try to fit to those using what we know about parabolas. The first one's, I think, more interesting than the second one. The first one says find the standard equation given a focus and a directrix. So the reason why I like this one is that you can solve this one without really knowing anything. This one you have to know. You have to know something. You have to say, okay, well, I know my directrix is at x equals -8. So I'm going to draw a coordinate system, and I know x equals -8 is a line. It's a vertical line. And I know my focus is at 8, 8. So if this is, that's a length of 8, this is 8, is also 8. So my focus is here, my directrix is here. Okay, so what does that tell me? Well, what we know is that the parabola is equidistant from the focus and the directrix. And we also know that the axis is perpendicular to the directrix and goes through the focus. All right, said a lot of words. What I'm really trying to say is that I need to go from this line to this, or this point to this line. All right, that's my axis. And I also know that my vertex is exactly half the distance from the focus and the directrix. So then what I can do, got a lot of colors, but I'm looking for green. Maybe I've got a green somewhere. Do I have a green somewhere? All right. I've got a green. So it's halfway between. Well, if this is at -8 and this is at +8, that tells me my distance is 8, which tells me that P is 8. Okay. Now what I also know is that my directrix is a vertical line, which means that I'm using a horizontal parabola. And I'm opening, you always open towards your focus. So you're coming out this way. So that tells me we're using this form. We're using x minus h squared equals 4p y minus k. So to solve this, we need to figure out what p is, h, and k. Those are our big unknowns here. But we have this point. So this is 8, 8. Let's see, we got 8, 8. Sorry, I got a lot of markers going on here. Maybe I'll put some of them away. All right, so I have, this is -8, 8. And this is +8, 8. So this point's got to be 0, 8. So 0, 8 would be my vertex. So that tells me that h is 0, k is 8. And I know that p is also 8. So I get x squared equals 4 times p, so 32, y minus 8. Wait, sorry. When you do things wrong, it just breaks my heart, right? We're opening this is what we're doing. It's this one. It's the top one. My bad. It's y minus k squared equals 4p x minus h. Now everything else is correct. Everything else is right. We don't have to worry about that. It becomes y minus 8 squared equals 32x. And that's your answer. All right. So that was simple. Now this one's easy. This one you can do all day. It's actually kind of annoyingly easy. So your vertex is here and these are your points. So you have a couple of options. You know that it could open one way, it could not open the other way. Now, you've got 0, 0, and 8, 0. So you've got 0, 0, and 8, 0. So what you know is that it's going to open up like this. It's got to, because there's no way for it to open up to the side and hit 0, 0, and then slide over and hit, right? Because it's always increasing or always decreasing. So you know it opens up. But you could have guessed that. And if you were wrong, you just switch. So you basically guess, you say, all right, x minus h squared equals 4p y minus k. But the thing is, they give you h and k, right? They give you the h is 4, k 16. So you get x minus 4 squared equals 4p y minus 16, okay? Well, the reason why this isn't that helpful isn't that big a deal is because then you can use any of this stuff. You can use any of the ones you want. And right, 0, 0 or 8, 0 is going to satisfy this. So if I plug in 0, 0, I get negative 4 squared equals 4p 0 minus 16. So I get 16 equals 4p times negative 16. So negative 1 is 4p. So p is negative a fourth. Well, now that you know p is negative a fourth, you get your answer. You say, all right, well, my answer is x minus 4 squared is just negative y minus 16. Or you could say 16 minus y, whoever, who cares. But this is your answer. It's really simple. You just plug in numbers. It's kind of tedious. I guess it's okay. Maybe it's good practice, but to me, this one's much less interesting because you don't need to really know anything. Even if you had guessed wrong, you would have gotten an answer that's impossible to solve. You said, oh, I'll switch to the other one. This one, if you didn't know what you were doing, you'd be there a long time. So this is why I like this better for testing your understanding.